Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a
have changed so many times about what happens, when it happens, how it happens, with different versions. And each time she speaks, there's a different version.
And that is from the documentary that's just aired in the United States. That's come just off the satellite. For more, we're joined by US broadcaster Cooper Lawrence to dissect it. What did you make of Ghislaine Maxwell?
It reminded me of Nobody Taught Me How to Curtsy.
In their mind.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very
she
sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia.
Bit of
could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation, with no confirmed evidence to support them.
Take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
This isn't a
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further
for ratings, we need an attention to be on this thing. See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses.
But think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been with those two black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan. Somebody, even if it looks like, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. There's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blame.
I believe that.
Somebody benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation, with no confirmed evidence to support them.
Everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah? Sandra? Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation, with no confirmed evidence to support.
We're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human.
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
So it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You'd have sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hair. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your last time. Not coming up in here.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual.
Yeah.
However, these claims remain unverified and are largely
in prison in jail up in Canada, waiting, charges all over the globe. But his deal was that he would allegedly impregnate young women in the Bahamas, where he had a huge home, and then have them get abortions and harvest their stem cells of the fetuses to inject in himself as the fountain of youth. And we get into this in that documentary. And was Epstein involved in that sort of activity? I don't know.
That's where, and again, we just have to look at what we have and know what we don't yet.
Yeah.
But it's a question.
Yeah,
when you look at the context of the jerky stuff.
Yeah, and when you look at what other billionaire guys have done, were they in contact somehow? I mean, obviously, there are some people who are in the concentric circles of associates.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell.
One world people exist because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right.
Supporters.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation, with no confirmed evidence to support them.
Ghislaine has no soul. And you know yourself what I've been through trying to take her down. And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend. These people never stop. Ever.
So you were abused by both of them in your very first encounter?
Yeah, both of them. I was abused by Ghislaine and Epstein, and it broke my heart. I don't mean to sound sexist in any way, shape, or form. I don't hate men. I'm not a man hater, but I expected it from a man, but I didn't expect it from a woman. And so, I think that's what still hurts me the most to this day is that, you know, as a mom, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter, I couldn't imagine putting someone through what she put me through. And, yeah, I think that's what hurts the most.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation, with
The
no
Department of
confirmed
Justice
evidence to
just
support
dropped
them.
last month's jailhouse interview with Epstein Madam Ghislaine Maxwell. And it's a doozy. First, she doesn't think Epstein killed himself.
So you think he did not die by suicide, given all the things we just talked about?
I do not believe he died by suicide. No.
And do you believe that, do you have any speculation or view of who killed him?
No, I don't.
And what about Epstein's infamous client list? Did he even have a list?
You never observed, or you never saw any sort of list or black book or a list of individuals who, linked to certain masseuses or
Absolutely
anything
no.
like that?
Absolutely no. There is no list. There is no, I'm not aware of any blackmail. I never heard that. I never saw it, and I never imagined it.
The list doesn't exist? So flight manifests don't exist? The surveillance tapes don't exist? The bank records don't exist? Well, what about Trump? The media spent the last couple months trying to smear him as Epstein's predator pal.
I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
And did you ever hear Mr. Epstein or anybody say that President Trump had done anything inappropriate with masseuses or with anybody in your world?
Absolutely never. In any context.
A good portion of the interview focused on Bill Clinton. Author Daniel Halper told Primetime Clinton was romantically involved with Maxwell. Would Ghislaine sell out her old flame? And she was asked about Bill and said he never did anything inappropriate and that Bill never went to Epstein's island.
Find out what the
the fuck they got going on. Get the information. Run back to y'all. Tell y'all everything I know. That's my motherfucking job. But I don't know how many more times I'm gonna be able to sneak in there. Thanks to Shannon Sharp and 90 million views, I can't sneak very often. So while I was in there this last time, knowing that my last report might be my last report, I went in there and I got information for everybody. Look at my white friends. Us too? That's right, white secrets.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Lewd and lascivious conduct or procuring minors for prostitution? I suppose lewd and lascivious conduct. I would prefer lewd and lascivious conduct with a prostitute if possible. That exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on May 23, 2008 is part of some 18,000 emails from Epstein's personal Yahoo account obtained by Bloomberg News.
The emails, which suggest the inbox was most active between 2005 and 2008, include messages spanning 2002 to 2022. Epstein died in 2019, and emails received after that are largely spam or marketing offers. Overall, the emails offer a raw look into the disgraced financier and sex offender's world.
While this inbox wasn't the only one he used, the newly uncovered emails do suggest how central Maxwell was to his life. Something that contradicts her telling of events. She's characterized herself as a former girlfriend and property manager for Epstein, not someone with eyes into his vast influence machine or sex trafficking operation. She's currently serving a 20-year sentence for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse minors. Maxwell was central to curating Epstein's inner circle, according to these emails. In some emails, she's organizing visits with the likes of Sergey Brin and his then-girlfriend Anne Wojcicki.
Claims have been circulating online suggesting that Ellen DeGeneres left the United States shortly before the release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein. At the same time, comedian Katt Williams is said to be speaking out, alleging a connection between Ellen and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some reports further speculate that Epstein had a contact within Hollywood, with rumors pointing toward Ellen as that individual. However, these claims remain unverified and are largely based on speculation.
A prison consultant who has 3 clients at the same facility as Maxwell, the Bryan Federal Prison Camp in Texas.
Whether it's access to a laptop computer, which is unheard of, to visits where they lock down the camp and no one can leave their bunks while she's having visitors.
Allegations of other perks, according to the New York Times, include meals being delivered to her cell and being served bottled water while other inmates drink tap water, playing with service dogs, showering alone, and watching TV alone in staff-only areas. They even provided her with an umbrella to shade her from the hot Texas sun while she took her daily walks.
She's been given the freedom and liberties that the other inmates do not have.
Last July, Maxwell was moved from a medium security prison in Florida to the minimum security camp in Texas. This followed her meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. According to reports, fellow inmates at the facility were threatened with solitary confinement or transferred to a tougher penitentiary if they voiced complaints about Maxwell's perks.
They've been told from the day she got there, do not discuss her, do not put anything in writing, do not talk about her on the phone, do not make any trouble regarding Miss Maxwell, or we will move you to another location.
As more files get released and more people start speaking out, the story is far from over. So if you want to stay updated on everything that's coming out next, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't